Is the dollar cycle uptrend finally over, and are we on the brink of cryptos getting out of the woods here and popping up? That's what we're going to go over in this video. And we're going to cover the 33-day uptrend cycle for the dollar and the 55-day downtrend for the dollar, and how that is coinciding with the pumps and the dumps in the crypto market for this whole year, and how I'm expecting that to continue going forward. So first, we're going to go into one of the key charts that we've been looking at since the beginning of this year and last year. And this was a chart that helped us be able to decipher when Bitcoin was at 16, 17K, that it was the bottom. So we're going to check in on that. We're going to see where we're at in the macro trend, and if we might be on the precipice of a move lower, or is this just a lot of fear in the market right now and we're about to have a nice rebound. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment. And if you're not already in the Discord, the link is in the bio, come join it. So right now we're on the monthly chart, and this is the stable coins USDT plus USDC market cap against the whole entire total crypto market cap. Right now on the monthly chart, we're hitting the 21 moving average here, and we want to stay below that. If I go to the momentum is showing that we're still moving down. But where we're at as far as the trend, if I were to take a trend line and grab it from all the way back here in 2019, we're right on that support trend line that we usually bounce off of each time. But that's the last thing that we want to happen, because as you notice here, May 2019, we bounce off it, we go up. That was when we saw Bitcoin, and I'll throw up Bitcoin right here. So May 2019 for Bitcoin was when it had its nice rebound out of its bear market bottom up to 14K. We found support on this trend line, kept going up, and then we had a correction. Then over here, we saw us enter in the bear market for Bitcoin when we saw us come down to this trend line in January 2021, March of 2021, and then, I'm on a 2-month chart. And then May of 2021, we found a nice bounce here, and that was no surprise that the top came in. So the top came in at that point when we found a bounce here. Then right here, again, a double top in November of 2021, we found a bounce. And then right here, November of 2021, Bitcoin had ultimately topped. Then right now where we're sitting back in July 2023, we saw a bounce from that level. And then there's no surprise that we saw a move down for Bitcoin. So we really need to break this long-term trend line ever since 2019 lower, so then Bitcoin can continue up higher. And this is a key driver, a key chart to look at to decipher if we're entering into a bull market or a bear market. And whenever we have a break from a shorter term trend line, like right here, November of 2020, we went down, down, down. That was our whole bull market here. You see this big red candle, big green candle, and it was 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. Then we had one red, 2 red, 3 red, 1 green, 2 green, 3 green, had a big bounce, and that was our market top. So this is a key chart we're gonna have eyes on. And then if I go to a lower time frame, we managed to get above the 200 moving average, but we have this trend line coming like this that we want to break back down below. So we had an overshoot here, we had a rejection here, we had rejections all here, and we managed to get above it. We want to break back below this trend line and then back below this longer term support trend line, and then cryptos can get running here. If we take this high down to this low as well too, we want to get rejected at the 786, and we tried once, twice, 3 times so far to get above it, and we've gotten rejection so far, which is great. We want to see that, but we need to see us move lower here. Then if we go to the Bitcoin versus the stock market here on the monthly chart, we're at the 786 right now, and this chart we want to see hold the 786 and for us to continue higher. But equivalent, like if we were just looking at Bitcoin alone, we'd be like right up here. But this is telling the story as far as, all right, we've kind of corrected a lot. The stock market has bounced a lot. Bitcoin has just kind of remained lower or suppressed. And we're at the 786 right now. And then looking to the left, this was a critical area of support and resistance. So we had this overshoot was the bull market top in 2017, came back down in June of 2019. We came up to it, got rejected. In November 2020, when we broke above it, that was our bull market run. Came down to it, found support all of like 2022 until we broke down through it in November 2022 with the FTX Black Swan. Then we popped back up. We had a retest support here in March, retest support here in June, retest here in August, and now we're sitting at it right now. And both of those times in March, and then in June, was when the dollar got up to that 104 level, and that's where we're at right now. So it's no surprise that we're at that same level here. So all these things play a role into each other, and that's why we need to see the dollar roll over right here as well too. And then this chart with the stable coins versus the total market cap, and then Bitcoin against the stock market will then hold this level and then work its way up upon the dollar rolling over. So now, since we're at this point, let's go into the dollar cycle here. So at this point, we're looking at the blue and the pink. When the pink gets above the blue, that's when the dollar goes into its 33 to 36 day uptrend. So right here, the pink got above the blue, the dollar started going up, and it took around 36 days for then the pink to cross back down below the blue, and then the dollar uptrend was over. Then we had our 56, 55 day cycle of the dollar going down until we did it all over again. And then if we take from this point where the pink crossed above the blue to here, when the blue crossed back above the pink, it was around 32 days. And then we had another 56 day cycle of going down. So then it was around 50 days at this point. We could actually drag it a little bit over for when the pink got above the middle line. So this was around 50 days. So it's around 50 to 60 days of the dollar going down, and then 33 to 36 days of the dollar going up. So right here, and then right now where we're sitting, we're at officially 34 days. So 34 days, and we're starting to see the signs that we used to see before for the dollar ultimately getting ready to top and roll over this week. And then we're going to have another 50 to 60 day cycle of the dollar going down. So by the end of this week, we should have a lot of confirmation and validation as far as the direction going forward for all the asset classes here. All these things are intertwined together. So if I go off the Heikin-Ashi candles, you can see how we're kind of reacting the same as back here, where we came down to like here at this point, we seeing the pink rolling over, just like it was rolling over here, rolling over here. And then the stock RSI cooled off, came up to that 50 line like it did back here, cooled off, and then came up to that 50 line. We had a pop at that point, just like we had a pop here. And it was a kind of a fake out pop. And then we ultimately rolled over. We had the TSI right here kind of cross down, but then come up, just like back here, it crossed down, then come up. And then we had the MACD kind of losing momentum. You have some red come in, a little bit of green, just like here, losing momentum, a little bit of green, and then we roll over. And that's what I'm expecting, the same thing to happen right now. We're seeing a lot of similar signs as in the past. So if I were to copy this over, we'd be at this point right here where we had our last pop up, last pop up here, we top, roll over, and then by the middle of September, we really see us break that 102 level and then have our continuation acceleration down in the dollar. And it's not until we have a clear kind of break of the trend where the cryptos then pop up on out of here. Because it wasn't really until this point, July 7th, this rolling over, where cryptos really had a nice run. But really back here is when the tides turned. So that's what I'm expecting as far as the dollar goes. And then for the bond yields, we are at a 3-month 200 moving average right now as we speak. And we got rejected so far. And if we were to press up more, I'd expect for us to just come up to the 200 moving average up here, the red one, which is the simple moving average, and that would be the top. But so far, where we're at, serves as a great point for us to find resistance at, and we have this trend line coming up like this. And we're going to know by the end of this month the way forward. So we have that trend line support coming up here. We have a lot of resistance, and this is going to be a critical level for us to get rejected by and roll over and find some relief in the bond yields. If we spike up through here and we start going rapidly, then that's, a credit freeze type scenario, and that wouldn't be good as far as the global markets goes. Then for the stock market, we had that 1 day buy now that panned out. We're up here, but really we need to hold above 15,400, at the very least 15,250 for us to continue up higher here. But right now, we found some momentum, but we need more to spill into these medium time frames, like the 3-day chart. We came right up to that 786. So from the high down to the low, 786 found rejection. So if we do come down here, 15,250 is where I want to see us hold, and then us plow through that 15,626 level and then come up to the extension target, which is coinciding with the previous all-time highs here, right over there. And then at that point, if we can break through that and go into a new all-time high, then cryptos are definitely recovering at that point. So we can keep that Bitcoin to US NAS 100 chart intact. So that's what I'm seeing as far as that goes. And then if we go to the total crypto market cap, we go to the monthly chart, we're holding that critical EMA ribbon right now as support, and that's at 990 billion. We're at 1.02 trillion right now. We had the momentum come up here, and really all we're waiting for is that TSI cross up on the monthly chart for the total crypto market cap. And this could be the month or next month that we see it happen. Kind of like back here where we saw like we got up here, had a little curl over, got up here, got a little curl over. And then as soon as we had a little uptick, that's when we got on out of here. But what I'm seeing is, as far as the total crypto market cap is, we're at a clear level of support. We're at a clear level. And even though Bitcoin, looks like things are going to get shaky, if we look at the VPVR right here, this is where we should find that support. Like sometimes when you look at the total crypto market cap as a whole, you get a clear kind of picture of what's going on. And I think that, we could hold this level very well and then bounce up right back to this 21 moving average, which has been holding us down at 1.15 trillion. And I'm telling you, if we break up through there, then we're going to have a quick shoot up to 1.69 trillion right up there to the top upper band of the void lines. And if we look at the altcoin market cap and we go to the monthly chart, the altcoin market cap is at a key level as well too, that EMA ribbon. If we were to break that EMA ribbon, we would fall substantially lower to touch the bottom of this void line. And I don't think that would be the case. That's such a big fall, around 50%. That would bring the crypto total market cap below 1 trillion. I just don't see that happening when we're this far along in the cycle. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. I'm in the camp that we're actually going to bounce out of here, and we're going to see actual, this be a fake out where everybody's screaming for a black swan. Everybody's screaming that we're going to go down below 20K. I think that we very well could have already bottomed, especially looking at the dollar, looking at all those things earlier, and that we could have a surprise out of here, out of Bitcoin and the crypto market cap. So if we look at the 3-week chart, this candle closes in 6 days. We're still green in the MACD, still green in the MACD. It looks like, we've already completed. We're at the beginning of the fun where, like back here, when we bottomed out in March of 2020, we had a little hump up, came back down, and then we crossed up, and then it was go time in May of 2020. We came down here, we had a little hump up, and then we just need that little cross up, and then it's go time. And this could be the month for that to happen. Very well could be the month for that to happen. But as far as we see in the MACD, the green coming in, that's solid. If we were to see this roll back over, that would be good. But I believe that we're very close, And then the 2-week chart, we've already gone up once, down, up, down, similar to back here. We've gone up once, down once, and then we cross up. And I would say we're at this point, the May of 2020 point, or, we could be further along, but just suppressed. But all of a sudden, I feel like we're going to see the catalyst to really push these cryptos on out of the woods here. And we saw what happened with XLM, when it was back at its low in 7.5 cents in June, then all of a sudden it happened so quick, and then it just fires up to 20 cents and it's come back down. But we're going to cover XLM later in this video, because XLM could be gearing up for another big move. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cover XLM in depth in a separate video. But XLM, Stellar, September could be for Stellar here. That's my prediction. So we'll get into that in a future video today. So definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell when I release that. But looking at the others market cap, if we go to the monthly chart, we've reclaimed a key level. We look at this, we need to get a little bit higher, around 123 billion, but we have that momentum coming up. We have that TSI getting close to crossing, the MACD's coming in, and we're really in the final moments of this pain before its glory. That's what I'm seeing. And if we look at the 2-month chart, we're still above that zero line in the TSI, and then if we look at kind of how we reacted in the past to now, and if I hide this over here, like I believe back in May of 2023 was our equivalent to, retesting back down here like we did before. We had this come back down, retest the bodies of the candles. This came back down, retest the bodies of the candles. And now we're just kind of chugging our way along up here. And it looks like we might have broken this, or this could be the month where we close the body of the candle above this downward sloping resistance here. We had 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 14 months of getting rejected from this level. Right now, we're currently above it, but there's 1 month and 28 days left for this to close above for confirmation. And if we can do that, then I expect by the end of this year for us to come up to 167 billion. And that's a pretty substantial move for the others. That's like a 50% gain for the others market cap. Then if we look at Bitcoin dominance and we go to the monthly chart, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's, right up at that zero line for the TSI. We have the momentum curling over here. And then if we go to the trend line we've been watching for a bit, it looks like it got broken. So we have this trend line coming up. We could have a confirmation of this trend line being broken. We just need to close the month, this monthly candle below this trend line. And if we go down to like the 2-week chart, we can see it much clearer. We had that fib overlap important level that we got rejected by. We have the 2-week sell warning right now. We have the momentum curling over. We go to the 10-day chart. We already had the sell now come in. We're sitting right on this last support here around like 48.5%, that if we break that, then it's game on. But the momentum's all heading down. So for me, Bitcoin dominance seems like it's starting to roll over. And then as long as Bitcoin can remain stable, hold its ground, and just chug its way up, then altcoins will do very well during this time. Then if we look at Bitcoin, actually, we go to the monthly chart. We just want to see us not have a cross down at the end of this month with the TSI and for the MACD to remain green here. If we go to the 2-month chart, you can see that we still haven't crossed yet on the 2-month chart. But when we do that, the bull market's set in stone. And then I have this bear market bottoms indicator up here, where if we go to the weekly chart, the monthly chart, whenever it flashes green, that's the bear market bottoms. But whenever it's done, we're done the bear market, and that's the low. And we've already flashed green and we're done flashing green. And really, if we go to a chart with more data here, we go to the Bitcoin all-time history index, and you can look at every single time when the green's flashing and when it goes away, the low's in, like we're actually starting back here in 2014, 2015, green, the green's gone, we head up. Green, bear market bottom, it's gone, we head up. Green, bear market bottom, we should head up. And then once we get below a certain level, it's like 25, and then start popping up again with these gray bars here, that's when we have the acceleration of the Bitcoin bull run. And I'm going to cover that in a separate video as far as how we're going to know when the parabolic phase of the crypto market rally is going to head in here. And we're not there just yet, but we're getting closer. If we look at XRP right now at 50.5 cents, if we go to the daily chart, we are seeing us reclaim above a key level right now. We really want to see us get above 51.5 cents. And then ultimately above 52.5 cents, which will get us back above the 200-day moving average, the yellow one right here, and above the 21 moving average. And then if we can get above 55 cents, that's really going to get us above the 786. And then we can start to target 60 cents, 67 cents. And this could very well happen because looking at that long entry signal, from the 7G star G8, indicator, long entry came back here, long exit came back here, long entry, and it's been nailing the bottoms and tops. So I'm in the camp that XRP has already bottomed and we should pop back up now. We have the momentum coming in. We have multiple green for the MACD. We're getting close to that 1-day TSI cross up. It looks similar to the past times we corrected where we came down, had a little hump, then got hung up here, and then we just fired up, came down, had a little hump, got hung up here, and we should see an event fire us up. And that could be the dollar, rolling over the stock market, pressing up to its all-time highs. And XLM is showing us a little bit of the way here, and XLM's leading. If we look at the 1-week chart, we've already had a break of this downward sloping resistance. And if we can have the weekly candle close where it's at even right now, this will confirm. And really, if we can see that 1-week stock RSI cross up, then we're good for another run back up here to around 14.5, 15 cents. Give the 200 moving average on the weekly chart another shot. And then look into the past and look, I'll get into it in the full XLM deep dive analysis video, but it's very similar to back here around December of 2020. I feel like XRP, XLM are leading the market right now as far as their price movements and kind of looking to the past. If I hide a couple things here, I'll show you to a T the fractal of XLM. So I'm matching it up with the COVID crash, with the FTX crash, to us kind of having our 1 hump, 2 hump, kind of consolidate down here like that and scoop up, have our shoot up quick like this, right? And then we come back down to this key level, right here. And if I zoom out and then put a horizontal line showing that, we're talking about here, we had our pump up, came back down right to this level, and where we come right back down to again, right to this level. And then what happened afterwards was it fired up. And when XLM shoots, it shoots fast. That's something that kind of shocked me from the last bull market. And we saw it the last pump, and I'm expecting that again as far as XLM, has, after it corrects, it rebounds and goes higher very quickly. And that could happen with XLM, this month in September, because we have the XLM Stellar annual conference. And then there's a surprise announcement, surprise news coming for Stellar and XLM, I think in about 7 days now. And we have this resistance line getting broken out from. And really, if we can close above 13 cents, that gets us above the EMA ribbon. We're still above the 200 moving average. We're flipped bullish for XLM. And then we can give the upper 14 to 15 cents a shot. And if we can break above that, I'm seeing, we could go to 24, 35 cents for XLM rather quickly, And if we look at the 2-day chart, we're almost having the momentum cross up here, very close. We look at the 1-day chart, and we've already had the cross up. TSI finally crossed up. So XLM is leading at the moment, and it's showing us what could be in store here for the rest of the market. And then Vela, we did a pair-to-pair swap trade the other day. It's good to be back into that. Vela has been outperforming. I think it was one of the top gainers today. Yep, it's the 6.83%. I think we got into it back when it was 2.5 or a little bit lower, but we added on to that pair-to-pair. So for the VIPs in the Discord, make sure you look at that in case you missed it announcements, because we made a move last night and then a couple days ago on pair-to-pair swap. So I'll be keeping people updated in the Discord about that, and we'll swap back into HBAR, into XLM, after, riding out some bigger gains and then getting back more of the quantity of coins we swapped out of. So that's what we're doing. If you want to get a part of it, then join the Discord, ask for Rob at Stargate. Link is in the bio. We'll get you kitted up. So that's what I'm seeing as far as the market goes. HBAR holding steady at 0.048 right now. If I go to the weekly chart, we came down to retest a pretty key level. And actually, if I cover HBAR real quick on the Binance chart, 1-day chart, we're doing a similar move, actually 1-week chart, similar movements to what we did back here before running up. I think we're at this phase for HBAR, in comparison. If we pull this bars pattern, I think we stretched the amount of time. Yep, we're literally right at the point where we should be time-wise, where we had our correction down, we went sideways, and this was our pull down. And then we have this kind of movement right here. And this could get us up to 15 cents for HBAR rather quickly. And if the whole rest of the market's moving, I'd expect HBAR to be a top leader as well too. XRP, XLM, and HBAR, I believe, are going to be one of the top performers this bull market. So we could be at the final phase here. So if we're starting to see us bottom out and turn around, we'll swap back into HBAR, get a little bit more of it, and then ride it up. And then we're at a critical level for HBAR as well too. Looking at the higher time frames on the 2-week chart, this was a level of resistance. We broke above, shot up. And then if I were to take this right here, that's where we're at right now. This was an important level, and it has been. So, and I think we touched a 786 from this low to this high up here. Yep, we came right down to the 786, or a little close to it, the 702. So this is where I want to see us hold, and for us to reclaim back above 6 cents. And then if we can take out 7.5 cents, then we're good to fire up to around 10 to 12 cents here. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. I'll keep people updated in the Discord in real time. So join the Discord. Link is in the bio, and I'll see you guys in there and in the next video.